Hey guys, it's me again. I wanted to share with you a short video talking about irony for day 13 of your iLearn packet. We're going to talk about dramatic irony, verbal irony, and situational irony. Now, on the digital packet online, which there should be individual days on Classroom as well as a complete packet if you want to look at it that way, I did give definitions, and I also included a link to a YouTube video that may be helpful to you. That's not me, but it's one that I find helpful whenever I need to remember the difference between these three. So if my video is not helpful or you're just tired of hearing my voice, feel free to watch that video either in addition to this one or instead of this one. But let's jump right into it. So dramatic irony. So we're in our drama unit, correct? Dramatic irony is defined as when an audience watching a play or a movie or a TV show or whatever understands what's happening or what's going on while the characters on stage don't. So the example that I chose was this scene from Snow White, which if you've never seen Snow White, you need to see Snow White, even though it's kind of depressing. And in the original, she was like 13, which is ridiculous. But anyway, moving on. I'm not going to tangent too much. So in this scene, you have the evil queen, and she's turned herself into this old crone, this old lady, and she's poisoned an apple. So the audience knows the apple is poisoned, but Snow White, who sees the good in everyone, doesn't know it's poisoned. So when the old woman offers her the apple, Snow White takes it because she doesn't assume anything bad about people. So as the audience, you're saying, no, stop, no. That's poison, it's going to hurt you, but Snow White doesn't know. And then, of course, she eats the apple and she dies, which, it's not a permanent death, but still she dies. So it's dramatic irony because the audience knows something the character does not, and it ends up not going in the way that you'd like. And I'm sure you can think of your own examples of dramatic irony where you know something that a character on the screen or on the stage doesn't know, and that if, it affects the way that the characters on stage behave, because if they had that information, they would react differently. The next one we're going to look at is verbal irony. So verbal irony is when words express something contrary or opposite to the truth, or someone says the opposite of what they really feel or mean. So, I don't know, if we're in class and someone says, Miss Frantz, maybe we should just have a free day today instead of reading Romeo and Juliet. And I say, oh yeah, that's a great idea. That's verbal irony because I'm being sarcastic, right? I'm saying the opposite of what I actually think. An example in media or Disney, I think all my examples I pulled are from Disney, is when Gaston, who, by the way, falls into that category of he's like Todd in Downsiders. Was that his name? Todd? That seems wrong. Lindsay's stepbrother, whatever. He's very much a Hans from Frozen, a little bit like Tybalt from Romeo and Juliet. And it's whenever Gaston is saying to Belle, after following her around all day, and after basically saying that he is in love with her, but then ignoring all of her interests and her likes, and then he says, say you'll marry me. And Belle, because she's a nice person, says, I'm very sorry, Gaston, but I just don't deserve you. In reality, we know that Belle is actually saying, Gaston, you don't deserve me. I am too good for you. You are beneath me. But what she says is the opposite of what she really feels or means. And it's to, in this case, not be sarcastic, but to spare his feelings, which she doesn't really have to spare his feelings because he's dreadful. But it's verbal irony because of what is being said. So what's being said is the opposite of what is meant, so it's verbal irony. Then we have situational irony. So in The Little Mermaid, which I hadn't watched in years and years, and just yesterday, in the morning before my workday started, Sadie, my 2-year-old, which she'll be 3 next month, I'm so excited, says, Mom, I want to watch the Mermaid movie. And I thought, okay, sure, why not? So we watched The Little Mermaid, and I was shocked by by all of it. I feel like I need to rewatch all the Disney movies and be shocked by what they're saying because she was 16 when all this happened. Anyway, I digress. Situational irony is a literary device that you can easily identify in literary works. Simply, it occurs when incongruity appears between expectations of something to happen and what actually happens instead. So basically, and I forgot to highlight this, let's see, when the expectation of what's going to happen and what actually happens are not the same, that is situational irony. So like if you expect, I don't know, let's say you expect, in this case, Ariel expects to meet Eric and fall in love with him. So she saves his life, he hears her sing to him, hears her talk, and then she disappears. So her expectation is she's going to give up her legs, she's going to give up her fin and her voice, right? She gives up her voice. And she gets legs. And because she has legs and she's a person, she expects to win his heart. Well, without her voice, Eric doesn't recognize her. He's like, oh, is it you? And then she can't talk, and he says, oh, it can't be you. So it's the irony is situational irony because the expectation is if she has legs, he'll love her. And what actually happens is because she's lost her voice, the situation required that she lose her voice, he doesn't know it's her. And of course they end up together, but that's not until later. So it's ironic because she does this thing to win his heart and the opposite actually happens. If you haven't seen that in a while, you should. I don't know, she's 16 and her dad's like, yeah, sure, leave everything you know and go get married to this strange man. That's fine. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Maybe we'll do a video on what Miss Frantz thinks about Disney movies later, but not right now. So those are the three types of irony: situational irony, dramatic irony, and verbal irony. On your iLearn packet, your goal is to read the 3 excerpts. There are 3 questions, and they're just snips. So I know there's been some complaint that these are not all fill in the blank, but if you just create a Google Doc and then in the iLearn turn-in space, or just type it into an email, that's fine, or even type it into a remind text. I really don't care as long as you get it turned in. But there are 3 snips or screenshots of text, and you're going to have to figure out which one is situational, which one is verbal, and which one is dramatic. And there's just one of each. I didn't try to, trick you or anything, so there's just one of each. So if you'll do that for day 13, you'll be done. I also wanted to come back to this calendar that I created, and I shared with you guys. I'm not sure how many of you are using it, but I thought it would be helpful. So far, as of today, because I'm filming this on Friday, you should have done days 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So all of those days should be done. If they're not, you need to go ahead and get those done. All of these days should be done. Go ahead and get those done and get them turned in. Now, I've been emailing and texting individuals who have not turned things in, so I'm hoping we'll get it all done. But there are still a few of you who haven't received anything from yet, so please be working on that. This video is for day 13, which is the 30th. It's on Monday, okay? The video you just watched is for that day. And then the 14th, I think, is Paraphrasing by Shakespeare, and I'll try to get that video up also this weekend. I also wanted to show you the rest of this iLearn calendar. So next week, you'll do days 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. The next week is your spring break. You still get a spring break, okay? So keep in mind that you won't have work that week. If you happen to get behind on these days, you can always make it up on spring break. Now, I don't want you to have to work on spring break. I want you to have your spring break free to relax and not think about classwork or homework or the fact that you are quarantined from school right now. But if worst comes to worst, you can always use that time. You can always use this time here to make up any work that you're missing. That being said, get your work done on time. When we come back from spring break, you'll finish up that packet of 11 through 20 with days 18, 19, and 20. And then the 16th and 17th will be days 21 and 22. Now, I have completed iLearn packet for days 21 through 30, and they've asked us to complete a packet through day 40. So if you're picking up paper copies, which if you're watching this video, you're probably not picking up paper copies because it's Those are only available to people without internet. But if you're picking up paper copies, they will be available for days 21 through 30 on this day right here. Okay? So this is today. Those packets will be available on this day right here, on Tuesday the 31st, and that'll be for days 21 through 30. I will also post them on Classroom on that day so that everyone has access to them on the same day, okay? If you have questions about that, of course, you can ask me later. Final order of business. So I was talking to Miss Odom, which if you've never taken Miss Odom's alt-lit class, or if you're not in drama, you should do one of those things because she's amazing. She came up with this idea for a PCHS virtual Spirit Week to kind of, get us working together on something while we're all quarantined at home. So I made the graphic. We worked together to come up with the criteria, and she came up with all of the days, like all of the themes. So starting Monday, if you want to participate, Monday is Maroon Monday. Show your school spirit, take a picture, take a video, and then share them on social media with the hashtag PC Keeping the Spirit. But also email them either to Miss Odom or to myself. Either one of us is fine. Tuesday is TikTok Tuesday. Show yourself trying to be famous. So I know for a fact that a lot of you love that tic-tac, right? You love making those little videos to share your little dances. Well, show us one. Show us a screenshot of one or a whole video and share it with us. Wednesday is Game Day Wednesday. Board games, video games, card games, backyard games with your family. Whatever you're doing at home to stay occupied, show us that. That will be your submission for that day. Thursday is Thankful Thursday. What are you thankful for right now? It's really easy right now while we're in quarantine and we're kind of trapped at home to feel less than thankful. And I've kind of fallen into that boat quite a bit recently. So what are you thankful for? What is it that you can look at and be thankful? Personally, I'm thankful for just this time to kind of be with my kids while I'm working, even though they are crazy and it's really hard to get work done with them here. I'm thankful for that time with them. And then Friday is talent show. Friday talent show. What can you do? Show it off. And I plan to participate in whatever I participate doing, I will share with you guys just to kind of make it even. And also, I miss you guys, and I want to, if I can't see you face to face, at least participate this way. I also apologize for not getting Google Meetup yet. If you would like to have a Google Meet session, please text me or email me and let me know, and that will push me to actually get it set up, okay? If you have any questions, you can always text me or email me. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.